Antifa are the 2022 manifestation of the Jerry Springer Show. They view themselves as heroes, of course, but let's face it, they are merely play-acting, revolutionary wannabes getting wrapped up in imaginary Selma marches because the mundane reality of their lives is they have no real purpose. They are passive-aggressive jackasses who've made politics and social justice the core of their identity. And these cats suffer from some serious white knight syndrome, which is pretty funny since they are, for the most part, whiter than Justin Bieber making a mayonnaise sandwich on Wonder Bread in the middle of a Minnesota snowstorm. Could you imagine getting locked up for being involved in any of these lightweight protests? You'd have so little respect in jail that you'd be forced to braid other people's hair and wear your boxer shorts backwards almost immediately. I'd like to see any of these idiots rollerblade into a Taliban rally whilst wearing a rainbow tutu, draped in a flag of woke imperialism. Let's put that on pay-per-view for $99. All proceeds to pay off student loans.
All right, guys, so we got to talk about one of the most base TikToks that I've ever seen, okay? This is definitely the most base TikTok ever, and it is going super duper viral because it involves this guy by the name of Thomas D. Alessandro. Now, admittedly, I can't find much information on this guy, okay? However, he seems to be very wealthy and very based, even though I can't really find that much information on him. If, anybody in the comment section knows more about this guy than me, please help me, okay? Because he seems like a mystery man, right? But this guy is going viral because he offered a $100,000 award to a criminal gang if they return his hard drive with his family photos. He also offered to fight the gang members as well too for breaking into his house and stealing the hard drive, okay? And I want to play this TikTok because, again, it's one of the most base things that I've ever seen in my life, and honestly, I love it, okay? It's a very fascinating TikTok. There's also a fascinating kind of story behind it as well too in regards to the gang or the group of criminals, international criminals, that he's talking about. So without further ado, I want to go ahead and roll the clip, but before I roll the clip, I just want to let you guys know, if you like my channel, you want to support my channel, you can check out my new merch, like, for example, my racist mug, which is a daily reminder of the 2023 definition of racist according to the left, which is anybody who disagrees with the Democrat Party. My logo's on the back. You can also check out my shirts, like my base shirt that I'm wearing right now. You can get that at my website, gforemanbcp.com. Get 20% off using discount code TEAMBCP. So without further ado, roll the clip.
I am offering $100,000 for the return of my hard drive. I was robbed by a Chilean jewelry heist gang run by a dude named Brian Herrera Maldonado, according to the police. The hard drive that you guys took looks exactly like this. If you guys return this to me, I will give you $100,000. And I will throw in another $100,000 if you let me fight any one of the four in my home. Pick whichever one you want. You can have an attorney draft any kind of letter that you please, which I will sign, and it will have a legally binding commitment that I will not press charges. As you know from looking at the hard drive, it's just 5 years of photos of me with my children. They're from 2008 to 2012. You probably thought it had banking info, or you thought it was a crypto wallet. But when you looked at it, you realized it's just a dad and his kids. Hopefully, for your sake, you didn't throw it away, because if you did, that would suck for you. I know that you are all pathetic cowards. All four of you ran the minute I stepped into the house. And I know it must suck knowing that you are incapable of actually earning a living. And it must feel horrible that you know you aren't real men. I'm giving you a chance to get $200,000 in cash. You are pathetic punks. Come and prove me wrong and get paid. You know who I am from the hard drive. I'm in SoCal. It won't be hard to figure out which little cell of your losers has this EHD. Have one of your loser friends drop off a letter with next steps in my backyard. You seem to know it well, as the police tell me you case these homes for days. Get to it, and let's do this.
Yeah, so again, this is a fascinating story for various reasons. But before I get into just how based this father is, right, and whether or not I actually believe this story, which is probably true, I want to give you guys some background into the gang or the group of criminals, the international criminals that he's talking about, because apparently this is actually a real thing. Okay, the guy that he was talking about, Brian Herrera Maldonado, he actually was caught back in 2020 or 2021 in a burglary ring arrest. Okay, it was about him and 24 other people. Again, they were fugitives, and what they would do is that they would case rich people's homes. Okay, and then they would go in and they would execute these burglaries while in the United States on tourist visas. Okay, and then they would go back to Chile. Okay, that's what they would do. And this is something that's happening in California, is happening in New York. And the crazy part about this, right? The crazy part about this is that because of soft on crime policies, these criminals basically get caught and then they get let go. And I want to show you guys a recent news clip involving some of the burglaries that allegedly were committed by this Chilean crime ring. Because again, this is exactly what happens when you have soft on crime policies and liberals running your states, your neighborhoods. This is what you got to deal with. Take a look.
Tonight, authorities trying to track down these notorious burglars. San Diego police saying they suspect they are part of a Chilean crime ring. The criminals, highly coordinated, covered from head to toe, taunting security cameras in the mansions they rob in less than 15 minutes.
They are up in their game. They're getting smarter as how they're acting and what they're doing.
The Chilean nationals are suspected in at least 21 burglaries since December. San Diego police believe these crime tourists are hiding in nearby canyons. They plagued the area last year, but then went quiet until this recent string of robberies. In this heist, they made off with more than $80,000 in jewelry and heirlooms.
They knew exactly what they were doing and where they were going. They just were like an organized group like you see in the movies.
Police say these Chileans are entering the U.S. on 90-day visas, hitting some of the wealthiest neighborhoods across the country. Authorities are also looking into robberies in New York, Connecticut, Washington, D.C., New Jersey, and Florida that they believe were also carried out by this ring.
We had a safe that was hidden in the back of the closet, bolted to the floor, had been ripped out of the floor and had been smashed open.
In Long Island, New York, 3 Chileans were arrested in January of 2020, accused of committing burglaries across multiple states.
In the Nassau County area alone, they probably count for 10 to 12 burglaries. Throughout the tri-state area, there's probably a couple of dozen burglaries.
Police tracked the alleged burglars down to this house in Queens, New York, where they found the proceeds from multiple heists. This doorbell camera shows a suspect running away from police in Saddle Rock, New York. Investigators say at least 2 homes were targeted there, including one belonging to the town's mayor.
That episode was a real punch in the gut.
While these arrests were made in 2020, experts say even if these criminals are caught, the bail for nonviolent property offenses can be low or non-existent, giving them the chance to make a getaway or even fly back home with the score.
Dana Griffin joins Top Story live tonight from Los Angeles. Dana, I know you've been covering this story since you were in local news. And that last part of your report there is going to make people really upset. You're saying these people are getting out, these burglars who aren't even from this country, and they're released on low bail?
Tom, that's right. So in the case that we mentioned from New York, one of the suspected burglars was released from jail because of new bail reform. In late 2019, 2 other burglars were also arrested, but they posted bond and disappeared. Police believe, Tom, they are back in Chile.
Yeah, that is nuts, right? That is absolutely nuts. Okay, I mean, this is the result of soft on crime policies from Democrats, also soft on illegals, okay? Because, again, they may have come here on tourist visas, but once they start committing crimes, in my opinion, they're here illegally, right? And they should be punished to the full extent of the law. And, I mean, clearly that's not the case. They're just letting them go out on bail. Okay, and then they go and they rob people and they steal, mainly from rich people, and then they go back to their country, which, you know, $100,000 in Chile is probably quite a bit, right? They can probably live off that for years and years and years, pretty nicely. Again, this is just a wild story all around. Now, again, I'm not entirely sure. I'm confused about the part where the guy in this video says that the guy running this criminal gang or whatever is Brian Herrera Maldonado, who I told you guys was caught back in 2021. So I'm not sure what he means by the guy is still running it. I'm not sure if he's still running it from jail or prison or whatever. In fact, I'm not even sure if he's still in jail or prison. I can't find that much information on the guy, but there are numerous stories about him. Okay. So maybe he just means that, hey, you know, this gang was run by this guy at one point. Maybe that's what he's trying to say. But regardless, you know, he's saying that this is the gang, the Chilean criminal gang that basically robs rich people. And they're professional about it, okay? As you saw in that video, they'll go into somebody's house after casing it for a few months or whatever, and then they know where everything is at, right? I mean, they got a bolted safe off the floor, busted open, stole the stuff, and was out in 15 minutes, right? I mean, that's, again, it's insane to think about, right? But again, the base part about this is that this guy probably knows, again, because he seems pretty base, that police probably can't do too much about this, even if they catch the guys, okay? Because, again, the soft on crime policies, they're put in jail and then they're let out, right? And then they go and rob other people, okay? So he's like, you know what? We just gonna fight, right? I'm gonna offer you $100K, not only to return it, but also to fight, okay? So you need to fight, which I think that the grand total, the jackpot is $200K, okay? So $100K to return it, then another $100K to fight, okay? Because he wants to beat these people up for stealing this hard drive that allegedly has his family photos, which, again, who knows? I mean, it could have crypto on it, okay? It could have a crypto wallet or something like that. Again, he really wants it back. But then again, you know, family photos are priceless, okay? Like, you know, photos with you and your kids on a hard drive, again, that is priceless. So I see why the guy really wants it back. And I can understand exactly where he is coming from, okay? I just think that it's super base that he challenged these criminals to a fight, to fight it out, okay? I think that that's so funny to me, okay? And this is a story that I hope continues to go, right? I hope that, you know, these criminals actually respond, actually take the money and fight it out with this guy, because I don't think this dude's playing, okay? I think, low-key, this guy probably would destroy any of these criminals in an actual fight, okay? I'm just saying. He seems like one of these guys is probably trained. I'm not sure. I'm just saying. He seems to be dead serious, okay? He's pissed, right? So, yeah, I mean, that's a fascinating story. And again, I think that this is just the consequence of, again, living in Democrat-run states with their soft on crime policies, soft on illegals. This is what you got to deal with, right? This is exactly what you have to deal with. So let me know what you guys think about this. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.